is going on, everybody? Zachariah Jazz back at it again to talk to you about what I feel is the controversial bullshit of the day. Now, you may not think it's controversial, but it's up for you to decide and for me to find out. So there's a few things that I want to talk to you about. But first, the most controversial I feel is Ashley Babbitt. Now, for anybody who's been watching for a while, sorry, I'm trying to fix my thing. The suction silicone part keeps falling off. Anyway, for those who have been watching for a while, after the attack on the Capitol January 6th, I put out a video about Ashley Babbitt and talking about why I feel nobody should mock her. Nobody should give her sympathy, but nobody should talk shit. Nobody should insult. I don't feel like they should. Now, but I won't sit here and grieve for her. I won't feel bad. No, I won't. I can only say that it's sad. The derangement that led to that day and what led to her death. It's a tragedy. Now, that being the case, she was partaking in an attempted takeover of the United States government. An insurrection. That's what they were doing. They were there to hang Mike Pence. They were there to kill Nancy Pelosi and all of Congress. They were there to stop the vote for Donald Trump. And his base boosted that. What they did in Michigan when far-right extremists and the MAGA psychos marched on the Michigan State Capitol building and took it over. They were armed, marching through the halls, breaking down the glass and breaking through the doors. They were fucking armed to the teeth. That was sort of a what is it called? A trial run, I guess you could say, right? A simulation of what to expect come January 6th. Now, this being the case, her doing what she did, committing an insurrection, these people, these psychos, I can't even find a better word for it because that's what they are. They were trying to hold her up as some kind of fucking martyr, right? These people, they're so obsessed with wanting to be victimized. They want to be persecuted. They want to be oppressed, like we have. Like their victims have, who they oppressed for generations, centuries. They want to be us so bad. And that's why they do things like Blue Lives Matter and shit. White Lives Matter. All lives matter, right? Not to you. Not ever. Make America great again. Make America kind again. When has America ever been kind? Not to us. Anyway, they want to hold her up as a martyr, right? And they have flags of her image. I'll show them here. There's one which got like a drop of blood, one with the Lady Liberty crown, and then there's one with the Star of David, and how they believe that these Zionist Jews are controlling the world, right? And there's a controversy to that, or a contradiction to that, because I thought they stand with Israel and they back Israel, right? But those are supposedly the people that are running the world. But that's a little bit more far right than your average, MAGA nut. But still, that's where these ideologies stem from. That's where these beliefs and these notions of victimhood come from ultimately white people. And there's a big difference, and I don't feel like I should have to say it, but I'm going to. And I don't even like to refer to these people as martyrs, but that's what they were. And throughout history, there have been many martyrs, but most recently, there's ones like Dante Wright. There's one like, Breonna Taylor, Jacob Blake, George Floyd. I have difficulties recalling their names because there's been so many. There's George Floyd had allegedly tried to buy something at a convenience store with a $20 bill. Donald Blake, or Jacob Blake, sorry, oh my God. Jacob Blake had a dispute with his kids, or with the mother of his kids, right? Some domestic dispute. Cop showed up. He might have been reaching for a knife. And he was shot several times. Dante Wright killed over in a traffic stop. Breonna Taylor, no-knock warrant, killed in the middle of the night for her boyfriend, because of her boyfriend who was supposedly selling weed. Ahmaud Arbery, because he was running through a neighborhood. The wrong neighborhood, obviously. Ashley Babbitt was killed by a Capitol Police officer who was protecting Congress because these piranhas were going in there to kill them. That's what they were going to do. There is no doubt about it. They came in there with fucking nooses saying, hang Mike Pence, because he didn't overturn the election like Donald Trump was telling him to. He didn't have the power to do that anyway. Now, after the 6th, had been rallying calls for who shot Ashley Babbitt, for them to ID the person who shot Ashley Babbitt. Now, I remember watching the videos, and honestly, I couldn't even tell it was a black guy, but they must have knew, right? Because they were fighting for it over and over again. It would not stop. Who killed Ashley Babbitt? Who killed Ashley Babbitt? Why are the Capitol Police still not told us who killed Ashley Babbitt? And this comes back to them wanting their desire, their obsession with being oppressed and persecuted against and dehumanized. Because now that he's revealed his identity, a man named Michael Byrd, he's a black guy. And a black dude killed a white lady. So that's what they're going to use. Right? Because, like George Floyd, killed by Derek Chauvin. George, a black dude. Chauvin, a white dude. It's a story as old as fucking time. Right? We're tired of that shit. It's changing. But it's the story of whites oppressing black people. Whites killing black people. Whites taking our rights. Our right to due process. right? So now they're going to use that. And I don't pray, but I'm going to pray for Michael Byrne. And I hope he's protected. Because he was doing his job. It wasn't like he was killed actually Babbitt over a $20 bill. He was literally protecting people. He was doing what a cop fucking should be doing. With the picture that they like to paint of cops protecting the public, keeping the peace or whatever, that's what he was doing. It was a poster board. But because he's a fucking black cop that killed a white woman, so now they're gonna hold her up like some fucking queen martyr, Lady Liberty. And it's disgusting. And it goes to show that we can't have nothing. But we go through, several time again of cops killing black and brown people over and over and over again. But I say Black Lives Matter and they call me a terrorist. They call me a thug, tell me to go home, that I'm some fucking Marxist. Well, I might be. But at least I'm not trying to make myself the victim. I'm not here trying to compare the two because I know which one was wrong and I know which one was justified. And it's fucking stupid. That yesterday there was a voting rights march for the peace and justice, and Jim Harvey with the peace and justice, he was talking about how we're still fighting this civil war. And with that statement, I couldn't agree more. Because we are. And it's only going to get worse from here. Especially after Michael Byrne revealed who he is. But that was the first topic of the day. Second is Lil Nas X and some rappers who want to talk about Lil Nas X and the propaganda, bigoted propagandized bullshit that they're saying about him, and their own conspiracy theories that they're coming up with. So this one dude from Wu-Tang Clan, I forgot his fucking name, Cappuccino, I don't fucking remember, and Lil Boosie Dumbass. Now, they want to go about saying that Lil Nas X and his music, and the other dude, not Lil Boosie Dipshit, but the other guy, is talking about Jaden X, or not Jaden X, but Jaden Smith, and that they're pushing this gay agenda on our kids through their music. But and you know what pisses me off about this is all the black people that agree with him, or that agree with them, and it's because of Christianity, and I'm just say it outright. That's what it is. It's because of Christianity. I know when I was a kid growing up, my father told me if I ever turned out to be gay, that he would disown me. So it's definitely embedded in black culture and black thought, black belief, because of this Christian God, that it's wrong as fuck to be gay. It's wrong to be queer. So now they're talking about this gay agenda and how they're pushing it through their music to our kids and shit like that, but they don't say a fucking word about the misogyny in hip hop, the gang glorification in hip hop, the drug abuse and drugs distribution in hip hop, They don't talk about none of that thing, or none of those things, right? Now, I want to go back to an interview NWA did on the release of Straight Outta Compton, and how the media and the mayor of Compton at the time wanted to blame NWA for gang violence and drug abuse and drug selling, whatever. They want to blame NWA. Now, you know, his son in, the movie Straight Outta Compton, and in an actual interview, they're talking about, we're just rapping a reflection of our reality. That's what our music is. That's what we're talking about. This is our lives. This is how we live it, you know. And then in a real actual interview, Q was talking about, this is just like I just said, a reflection of our reality. But to say that our music causes or makes people be this way, no. To commit a crime, that already has to be in your mind, and he was going to do it anyway. And it's not that our music is making him go out and do this, telling him to go out and do it. No, it's already in his head. That's who he is. Now, can music influence people? Yeah, sure. But that's because that's already who they were. They already had it in their mind, right? Because that's who they are. It's not that this music was making them go out and do these things. And then I want to take it to Arsenio Hall. And back in the day when he had his own talk show and stuff on TV. And these two queer guys were trying to accuse him of being homophobic. And he was like, well, who would you want me to have on my show? And he was like, well, I don't know Gus Van Sant, but I know Elton John. When he came in here, he rocked the house. And then he was like, okay, who else? Who else would you want? And then talking about somebody else, and Arsenio was like, well, when he has something interesting or something that I'm interested in, I'll bring him on my show. Until then, shut the fuck up. And he's like, I am black. I'm the only minority, or I don't know, something like that. But it's true. We as black people, a minority, the most persecuted, vilified, and oppressed people, the most dehumanized people on the face of this earth, should not be talking down on anybody that is queer, trans, especially not black. Because as black people as a whole are the most vilified, most persecuted, most oppressed, black, queer, and trans people are even more so than even myself. And then to be bigoted against and against your own people, where do you go? What do you do? Who do you turn to? If your own people won't accept you, where do you go? And I couldn't do that to somebody. I used to, before I learned. Not knowing what I know now, there's no way. There's no way. Oh, now that I think about it, there was another third topic that I want to get to. Sorry, I know it's a long video. There was somebody on Facebook. He's got a lot of followers, a lot of black revolutionary followers. And he was talking about, please let your kids be nerds. We need more chemical weapons and weapons of mass destruction, right? I'm like, man, what? No, we need more smart people to help fix our planet. And how many black people, even black revolutionaries, was going on there and agreeing with him? It's sad. It's the colonized program. And we need to get right before we get got. For real, because it's disgusting. Actually, Babbitt's not a martyr. Black people shouldn't marginalize anybody. And down with the patriarchy. Down with weapons of mass destruction. Abolish fucking nukes, whatever. Get rid of all them motherfuckers. Greenpeace, Green New Deal, the Red Deal. Climate justice. And hoodoo.